All right, y'all. I watched episode 1 of The Forsytes on PBS, and let me just say this right out the gate. This is tame compared to the Forsyte Saga, but I'm still set. I am, y'all. I'm seated because if you watch that 2002 version, you already know that one wasted absolutely no time making everybody out of control. From the immediate infidelity to the brazen harlotry, the harlot whore demonstrated over there. Y'all know it was inappropriate, it was uncomfortable, and it was messy as hell. This new one, though, we're keeping it cute. It's much prettier, much prettier. It's much more restrained. It's much more, let's take our time and let's sit in this and let's build a world is what it's feeling like. And surprisingly, I still enjoyed it. Hey, sweet peas. My name's Ashley and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all the things TV and movie related. Y'all know I'm here to put you on. And today we are back to talk episode 1 of The Forsytes, which is PBS's reimagining of the Forsyte Saga. And right away, I could tell this show is doing its own thing. It's not trying to be copy and paste of the 2002 version. And honestly, that's probably for the best, because if they had tried to recreate that version beat for beat, people would have eaten them alive. So instead, this premiere feels like the show saying, let me build something different. That is what episode feels like to me. It feels like a setup. It feels like I'm setting the table. The mess is coming, just not immediately, and I was into it. So let's get into my overall thoughts, y'all. So overall, I really like this premiere. I did. I think that we're getting into the world building. You're understanding the Forsyte family more, I feel like, than you did in the original version. They're establishing that there's rules to being a Forsyte immediately out of the gate, as compared to the other one where we're thrust into the drama and then we figure out, oh, this family's different, this family's special. And I like that. What I will say, in order to keep up though, by next episode, they're going to have to come outside of their bag. They're going to have to come with best stuff in these next couple of moments. All that being said, I did spend some of this episode comparing it to the old version because the differences are not small. And the biggest difference to me is simple. Again, this is just much more restrained out of the gate. It's not boring. It's not bad. It's not lifeless. It's just definitely tamer. The old version, within the first 5 minutes, you're like, what the hell? What the hell? That's literally what you're like. So if you have not watched the original, because this is a reimagining, I believe they're going to be covering a lot of what happened there. So, but baby, we get immediately walking away from the family. First episode. What? What are we doing? This one, again, old school version, I'm clutching my pearls early. This one is relax, we're building. And I can appreciate that as long as the build is actually getting us somewhere, because I don't mind a slow burn sometimes, but y'all know lately everything has been slow burning and I need steam heat. In this first episode, I feel like they do that. It's just a little bit turned down. Everything about this premiere feels very controlled. The energy is softer. The performances are softer. The family tension is more subtle. But again, I think we get a very strong background to who the Forsytes are and who they are in their world, because these are lawyers. I believe they have a or they have a firm, but they're more tradesmen. They have trades. They're not pure aristocracy, but they have the mother Forsyte, the 2 sons, and then the sons have all of these kids. And that's how the family is set up. Even the drama feels like it's standing in the corner waiting for permission to speak. And I don't hate that. I think it actually works for the first episode because it gives us room to grow, less jagged, less scandalous. And we are on public broadcasting, so we probably want to keep that in mind as well. I think they're just trying to introduce a new generation to it, which is going to account for that. But let's get into some of the differences. We'll go characters that stood out to me in comparison to the original and see hopefully where we're going with it. So Soames and Irene are very, 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 very different here. The biggest thing that jumped out to me was Soames, because Soames in the 2002 version is played by Damian Lewis from Billions, that he's most notably another PBS special that he has been Wolf Hall He's very awkward. If you watch the original, you would think that he is on a spectrum. In the original version, he's just that different. He's got a very different affect. And it's not like, if you're a Jane Austen fan, it's not like Mr. Darcy. It's not like he just has all of this elitism. That's not really all that it conveys in the Forsyte Saga. That's a part of it, but more so his social awkwardness, the way he navigates rooms, the way he navigates with women. It's just very, very different. Here, Soames is smooth, honey. Soames is smooth. It's Mr. Steal Your Girl. If I wanted her, I could have her. And so we get more, I think, of the pretension. We get more of the classism maybe on this end than we did in the original one for me. And y'all drop it in the comments and let me know your thoughts. But listen, the old version, you know why this stands out. He was not smooth, baby. He was licking that lady's arm. Soames was not that dude at all. This Soames is big fine. I said, is this who? I said, this is supposed to be Soames? I said, you can't even make him a ginger? Anyway, is it going to work? I don't know, because the arc between Irene and Soames in the Forsyte Saga is so, do I want to say contemptuous? It gets there. It's so off-putting. It's so awkward. It's so vitriolic and nasty. I don't see how these two beautiful people are going to do that. All right. The original Irene is vampiric. She looks like she could have been on the OG movie for Interview with a Vampire. She looks like Bella Swan, but older in the face in the original. This one, honey, she's fine. Just as cute as a button, just darling. She looks young. And again, that's another major difference. It felt older in 2002. The characters felt older. Here they seem like just out of their teens. And I don't know if you guys have read the source material, if you've read the books, let me know. Is that more on par with what the author originally intended for the characters? I don't know, but we meet her. She's sweet. The original Irene is cold and haunting and pale and in mourning as we speak. Now, in the original, we don't get to actually meet the father. He's kind of a foregone conclusion. And I do like the direction that they're going with her stepmother, because in the OG one, the stepmother's not terrible. She's just trying to figure out a way for them to live. In this version, the stepmother is clearly out with her own motivation. But again, just a stark contrast. This Irene seems much sweeter, much more palatable. So if they go where they originally went, I don't know how that's going to land, but I'm absolutely here for it. And we're going to see. It feels fresh. I'm interested in seeing how they are going to interpret this story, because Soames really lives or dies on how the audience feels about him. And also part of their story, because it does get so ugly, you're going to want to see that. And he's just so fine. They're going to have to show a lot, I think, for us to get us over the edge for Soames like I was in the original. I don't know, but you guys drop it in the comments and let me know. Now, let's get on to Jolyon. And it's like Julian with an O. So Jolyon, I'm just going to call him Joe for short. But he feels very different too. Because first of all, Joe ain't never been this fine in his life. Do you hear me? When y'all see Joe, listen, when you see him, you're going to be like, what? And why is Bill playing his daddy? Bill, True Blood, Sookie, playing his daddy, and he got the nerve to be handsome, and it was pissing me off because Bill has never been handsome in his whole life. Why are you waiting until he gets 100 years old for him to actually look like something Sookie and a Paquin? Anyway, but Joe in the original is very taken with flights of fancy. He's very much an artist, and that really consumes him. He has no interest in the family business or going that route, and he makes a really wild decision in the very first episode of the OG series. And I don't know how you match that. I don't know how you top that. And this one is giving us a completely different approach where we're actually getting to see him in family life. And again, I don't know if that takes away from the original text, because in the original series, we hear about him meeting a woman 6 months later. They're married. Now he's met another one within a couple of months, and that's been his pattern. Well, here he's with someone who already has a teenage daughter, right? In the original, we don't really get to see the daughter stepdaughter. We fast forward 9 years and now she's of age. So they're really moving the story in a different way. And like I said, he's completely sat with his family throughout this first episode until we meet someone. Louisa or Louise. Is it Louise or Louisa? Drop it in the comments and let me know. But I do like her introduction better here because we barely got to meet her in Forsyte Saga. You're just leaving everything and everybody first episode and running off with a mistress. Now it's like, oh no, we have background. This was a lot. And so like I said, also his stepdaughter, June, it's a very different rollout for her because again, in the first episode of Forsyte Saga, we don't actually meet her. We don't actually meet her, I believe, until she is of age and being presented. And now we're getting that all in the first episode. And Joe is an ever-present stepdaddy who really seems to love her. I will say the one thing that's conveyed is with Jolyon Sr., we see the relationship between that he has with his granddaughter. He absolutely loves her, even though it's not by blood. I will say the wife actually has a bigger part in this story than she did in Forsyte Saga. So I'm interested to see who this character is and how she'll ultimately be translated. Overall, the whole cast feels younger. And I know some people were labeling it as a prequel, but it actually covers more events than the season 1 or the episode 1 of the Forsyte Saga did. It does feel more inviting. It's still a period drama. It's still polished and elegant. It just has a lighter tone. Again, the original is dark and it's messy and it's almost unbelievable, some of the things that happen over there. So what I liked most is that the premiere is very pretty. The cast looks good. The styling is good. The atmosphere is good. Set design, costumes, they're always going to deliver on a period piece over there at Masterpiece. And most importantly, I was interested. And I think a lot of the interest, again, came from me wanting to compare it to the original. But I think the best way to consume this is going to be put that in your back pocket and just watch how this story unfolds. Don't have those expectations that you had for Forsyte Saga because it's not the same. Immediately, do I want it to get there? Yes, because we need this. We need this. And speaking of what we need, I still need this to grab me because I liked it, but I'm not obsessed with it yet. I'm intrigued. I'm curious. I'm definitely watching episode 2, but I need y'all to come on. I need y'all to come on around this bend. Now, what the cliffhanger that we're left off with season 1 is, of course, we meet Louise or Louisa. Y'all drop it in the comments. And we find out that she and Joe have known each other from back in the day. She's moved back into town, honey. And her oldest son got that man name. Take from that what you will. But meanwhile, he's got a wife and a stepdaughter. So, and he just got promoted in the business. So what's that gonna mean? Like I said, it's enough to keep you set. It's just not as overt as it was in the original. And again, I do think they're trying to appeal for a new, different, maybe younger audience with this because everybody's beautiful, everybody's fine. But the story's not as aggressive. So overall, I thought episode 1 of The Forsytes was a strong start. It's elegant, it's controlled, it's beautiful to look at. Definitely more restrained than Forsyte Saga. And yes, some of those differences are major enough that if you love the 2002 version, you're absolutely going to notice them immediately. But I still enjoyed it. Like I said, if you take those 2002 glasses off and go into this with fresh eyes, I think you will be fine. But what matters most is what you thought about it. So do me a favor. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this. Does it measure up? Do you look forward to where we're going with this? How you feel? Be sure to comment, subscribe, hype the video. If you want me to continue talking about the series weekly, let me know in the comment section. And y'all know I'll come back and hopefully I'll be on screen. Your girl has been under the weather for a few days, which is why I sound like this, but we'll be back, y'all. But thank you so much for watching. Love y'all down real bad, sweet peas. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hype me up, do all of the things. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.